Howdy healers, welcome to Zero to KSM Hero, a series where I'll be attempting the Keystone Master Challenge in patch 9.1.5 on a brand new healer. The rules are simple. For the Alliance, least favored healer, least popular covenant, only moderate help from main character allowed, no linking raid or IO to main character, hugging only, and finally the challenge must be finished before posting the first video to avoid any external help or assistance, and of course for the sake of integrity. Welcome back in, everyone. For today's episode, we're going to start off by joining an 11 Spires group that we don't actually end up doing because they misread the key. It was actually a Sanguine Depths group, and I've already done that at a 12 and timed it, so I wasn't really interested in doing an 11. Then I join a plus 10 Spires of Ascension group, which is full of monks and therefore a superior group. Also, just a warning, I do have a cat quarantined in this room with me, and she's behaving right now, but like 5 minutes ago, she was screaming her head off and trying to claw her way out of the room, so she has a vet appointment later, and to get x-rays to see if she has bladder stones, and if so, how bad are they? If they're bad again, last time they were so bad that we had to have them surgically removed, so we'll see if we have to do that again. I have a good vet and their pricing is very fair, thank God. But she's, I think, 12, so I'm not too keen on having surgery done on her if we can avoid it. However, she's also old, so she's set in her ways and hates to be contained, so it's been a struggle. If you hear scratching or a cat yelling her brains out, please, I am so sorry. But there's nothing I can do about it right now. Or potentially for the rest of this series, actually, so we'll play it by ear. When groups won't use your transmorph beacon thing, they're mean. Also, just really quick, the commentary here was live, so if it's a bit sparse or lacking or whatever, that's probably why. I'm not very good at doing commentary while I actually play. I will be working on that because honestly, editing it when you do the commentary live takes like so much less time. It does, like, it opens up the possibility for me to do another series in the future, whereas right now with the time investment I'm having to put in doing the editing, that's like it's not gonna happen. Like, I'm never gonna have the time for it. Especially now that it's construction's busy season and I'll have to like actually be making time for it. So enjoy the video. Troll Monk would be pretty sweet, not gonna lie. I mean, sweet haste. I miss Hunter. I'm just hanging out here. These guys are gods, actually. It's like 2 godly groups in a row. I don't deserve it. We got some gamers here. I want my ball. Need it. 6% could change your life. Me first.
Listen to reason, Devos. The Kyrian must stand united.
Not so long as you command them.
I probably eat too much, but like... I'd rather be safe than sorry. See that sweet fucking crit? Well, I failed at knocking it back, so that was a little embarrassing, but... I redeemed myself. temporarily. I need to drink.
Radiance. You cannot match my alacrity. Witness radiance. From the shadows, I witness your demise. My celerity is second to none. Witness
That wasn't bad at all, man. This is probably one of the easiest times I've ever been on this boss.
mortal burdens would only
Alright,
aid
well,
our
we're skipping
sacred
him.
duty.
I don't know what buff he gives to the last boss.
It was a
Probably doesn't matter anyway, because she's, like,
edicts.
pretty easy. Hi, Echo. What do you think? Yeah? You clawing my chair? Yeah. Nope, I'm gonna have to ask you politely to fuck off.
Trail.
Imagine playing the game in, like, first person. I used to want to try a challenge like that. Like, just through leveling. I would never do Mythic Plus like that. I feel like it's too rough on the group. But I always thought it would be kind of funny to just, like, level 1 to 60 in dungeons, playing in first person. Glad I'm... Well, I was safe there. Oh, I stood in that like a dumbass. I think the important thing is, in a good group, the damage is still intense sometimes, but it doesn't last long.
This spear shall pierce your heart.
A victory well earned. You have proven that none of the weapons in Zoval's arsenal can best you.
The jailers.
Alright, so Spires was a nice, smooth dungeon, so what's the first thing you do when you have a nice, smooth dungeon, right? You try to find another group, because, like, what if the luck holds? So, I jump into a 13 Plaguefall. Into a 14. 13 Plaguefall. I'm on my way. Hello. I don't hate Plaguefall. Alright, so we got another group here. There's no real way to know how it's gonna go until it goes, you know what I mean?
So, the House of Eyes has finally sent someone to kill me. You're welcome to try. The horrors within these halls will make quick work of you. Stradama's plague will soon be mine.
Alright, well, so far this is going smooth-ish. Smooth? I don't want to jinx it. Alright, it's going smooth, but I don't want to jinx it. I need that eat faster thing. Way faster. Well, that took a while. Wish I had more tools than... I'll have to think about it. Maybe I have more tools. Here we have our range standing back. Which lets me just juggle between the two melee. It is a bit rough when you have like a full melee group, but most melee DPS kind of know that they're in danger all the time. Blizz hates melee. Everybody knows that. The shaman is a gamer. Oh boy. We're gaming today, folks. Maybe.
Beware. You approach a powerful servant of the jailer.
Oh, fuck. Cool. Cool. I'd fuck that up. I stood too close. But also... Oh, fucking battle res.
Take the beast's power. You'll need it for the dangers ahead.
I didn't expect Roll to flip me up off the top lip of the stairs like that. Terrain in this game has never been super predictable. At least this guy's pretty easy if people aren't awful. I can't imagine doing Pride. Like, I did one Pride and I don't think I healed one. Pretty sure I DPS'd it. I got invited for Bloodlust or whatever. It was a solid carry through Sanguine Depths. My least favorite dungeon. Actually, I might like Sanguine more than the other side. That's not worth dispelling. Oh shit, yeah it was. I'm just gonna wait. I suck. I was like, oh, that's not worth dispelling, not realizing that it's facing me. I'm not used to the tank facing the healer. It was my bad for not paying attention though. Like, he'll always jump in at facing straight, so I could kind of just assume. You're still gonna get hit by it sometimes, maybe, but That's by far the worst part, like when you have an all melee group. If you're ranged, you should definitely stand out a little bit. Because if he jumps at you, you know exactly where the lines are going to be. The melee have a harder time. I think because when they're all stacked doing melee, they don't know who he's jumping on. Alright, so he's jumping at me in a straight line. Yep. Lines are gonna be here.
So you emerge victorious. But at what cost? What vile mixtures now course through your veins?
Alright, drinking up a little bit, even though we don't have to.
It lingers, festers, destroys everything it touches, even the victor.
And I knocked the slime back to clear the area a little bit. Turns out it didn't really do much. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah, revival ain't much sometimes, but it's way better than nothing. Ah, shit. Again, my bad. Alright, that was close. Oh no, our tank. I'm trying to get to him. I'm trying to get to him. I'm not gonna grab that orb because I'm afraid it'll be too close to some other crap.
You will not stop me!
Well, the key's depleted, but we try anyway. So I did have some recording for the end of this, but it wasn't very much and it was super quiet, so I just went ahead and deleted it, and it's back to the old whatever this is. The old chaos. One thing I did mention after the dungeon was over was the difference between this specific Plaguefall and the one where the tank was carrying his friend or friends, depending on how you look at that. And my thought process at the time was mostly that this group was friendly and people just admitted when they made mistakes. Like, you know, I think Chain Lightning pulled an extra mob on accident at the beginning, and that's not really the shaman's fault, but they still were like, yeah, I don't know how that happened or whatever. Like, they spoke up in chat, right? And everybody just kind of said, oops, or my bad a lot. Nobody was pointing fingers because most of the time people just kind of admitted that they messed up. And it kept the mood of the group light, so nobody seemed to be upset when we didn't time. Like, sure, I'm sure everybody in the group was frustrated because, like, obviously the goal is to time it, but it's not that big of a deal when you don't, and people, like, are nice about it. So in typical KSM hunting fashion, we go again. But on the way there, I'm going to show some footage where, like, I recorded this live, of course, on my way to do my own key, I think. So have fun with that. Alright, it's time to make a terrifying decision. Running my own key. So, at least if I'm running my own, I can be picky. The problem is that while you might get tanks and DPS and even healers that are willing to carry 1 DPS, I do think it's a little harder for people to want to carry a healer. Because, like, if they're bringing a good healer or you have a good healer in the group with you, the tank can do, like, big pulls or whatever, and the bad DPS, or I should say the under-geared DPS, doesn't even matter. Like, they're getting carried, basically. But it's a lot harder to do that with a healer. Like, if a tank does, like, some crazy pull, unless all the DPS are in voice, and, like, they're all super geared and everything, or they're just really good at the game by some miracle. So I just feel like, in a general level, fewer people are willing to sign up for a healer that they feel is not overgearing. So, we'll see what happens when I attempt to list my key, but I am going to have to be a little more picky. Like, we did okay with Sunstone. I think that was the last... No. The one before the last tank. So we had a... What was it? 11 halls, maybe? And then we got a 12 sanguine. The druid tank that we had for the 11 halls did alright. And he didn't have like a super high IO or anything. I didn't feel like I could be picky because I was like, well, if I'm picky, I might have to wait for like 200 years just to even find anybody. And I would rather not. But now I'm sitting here like, I'm kind of getting why some of these DPS are really picky about who they take with their own key. So let's hit it up here. We got 13 Theater of Pain. Oh, and my opinion about the affixes, haven't really talked a lot about it. With a good group, Fortified isn't that bad. But with mediocre DPS, Fortified and Tyrannical both suck. Like, it's bad enough that I have to heal through Inspiring BS and Grievous, but when the trash or boss has more health and hits harder, it's, like, even more annoying. I personally probably prefer Tyrannical, even though I think Tyrannical sucks on some bosses. Overall, it's not the bosses that are hard in the dungeon so much as the trash. The only boss that I really hate is probably the other side. Obviously not a huge fan of Millhouse and Maleficent, but Mazala is probably the worst boss. Just in that if anyone in the group kind of sucks, you're screwed. And you're also screwed if, like, your healer dies or your tank dies, because you'll never get to them to do a battle res in time unless they die when you're all on the same platform. So, okay, I'm going to queue this up and we're gonna see what happens here. Plus 13. I always have to check it like 50 times because I don't want to embarrass myself. Minimum Mythic Plus rating. I'm not gonna select that, but I can kind of see why you would select these. If you do, the group isn't even visible to those people. But my minimum eye level, I'm gonna put 200. 220. I think I am a little higher than that, and that's fair to expect. What am I? Whoop, 227. So I'd rather not invite anybody that's 220, but if somebody shows up with like a crazy high IO and like 50 tens or whatever timed, I'm not going to be opposed to it. Like, okay, this person has a score way lower than mine. I'm not going to invite them. They have 10. They have one 10 to 14 run. One. No, you're not coming to mine. My 13. Now, if this was like an 11 and they had a bunch of 9s and a few 10s, I'd be like, yeah, maybe they're worth a risk. This person isn't worth the risk. And the really sad thing is, like, they could be god tier, but they have 1 plus 13 ran. It makes me think it was a carry, probably their own key. Just because you did one doesn't mean I'm going to bring you in. Also, you did the easiest one, Halls of Atonement. It's pretty easy. Here we have somebody that's a little bit better. But their best run is an 11. They do have a better score, but they've timed 5. Best run is an 11. It's a double plus 11 Plaguefall. This person just jumped straight into 10 plus somehow. And I'll be honest with you, I don't trust it. Probably went with guildies or something. Here we go. Here's a gamer. 30 plus, 18 plus. I'll bring them. Oh, I had them in a group before. Oh, I think it was even in this dungeon. Earlier? Bring this guy. Okay, this is really sus too, where they have this high score, but they've only done 2 10 to 14 runs. And oh, 41. Oh shit, here we get 2 good ones. 12 and 41. This one. They've done 9. That's not so bad. I'm assembling a team of gamers. If we can get a tank to join us. The thing is, I'm sure that a tank that's a little lower geared is like perfectly capable of doing this, but with the key depletion thing, it makes it hard to want to like take a chance on them being able to handle it. But also I'm healing, so like I want the better geared a tank is, the easier they are to heal usually. I would prefer a druid tank, I think. Or maybe paladin, because there's a lot of diseases in here. Cheesy pack. Oh yeah, here's our gamer boy. Waiting on my cheesy boy here. He is ready. Let's pull in 10. Where's my thing? Yeah, like, let's just pull when everybody is like at fucking 8 o'clock health here. I should have probably used Manatee too on that pull. I'll try to remember for next time. I remember Thunder Focus Tea at least. That shit's always on cooldown. Well, maybe not always, but it's quite often. This is pretty intense, as expected. Sit need immediately. It's true if you're DPS or tank here and you don't have full health. If you have a mage in your group, there's no reason not to sit and eat while you're just standing around. Didn't want to use revival there, but that's okay. Ah, no! Micah. That was so fucking close. So when this happens and you would get flung off the cliff here, usually only with this little mini boss. I mean, I guess you could like, I don't know, fell rush or like disengage off the cliff, but for the most part, this tormentor was the only reason that this happened. And it was my bad, I wasn't paying attention. But because of this, part of my group has to leave and resummon me. And honestly, at that point, like it's a dead key immediately if you have to leave the dungeon to summon somebody back in, just because the walk out to the stone is so far. So I pretty much just ask everybody, like, hey, do you want to just go ahead and do this on a 12 then? Because I don't want to waste everybody's time by like trying to time something that's literally not going to be timeable. The group agrees, so we go again. Eaten up, eaten up, eaten up. Just to be safe. I keep thinking that guy is what's her face. My favorite is how that dude just stands out there and does nothing sometimes. I feel bad when I forget to apply Mystic Touch. If we got a couple melee DPS, it's probably useful. Boy, I wish you could mount up in the middle here. Guess at least we depleted right at the beginning. I think that actually worked out better to pull him like that. Okay, my hands are getting sweaty again. I hate this place. This is like probably one of my least favorite dungeons. Even the other side is like not as bad. At least I could become an engineer to make it easier. Oh, I'm potted. Fuck. Come on. Sorry, I fucking suck. Pretty sure it's me this time. I just like to be. I don't want to even be mean to any of these people. They don't really have any cooldowns. Oh, I can't wait to land in the middle of this. It's gonna be just done when I land. Uh-oh. my god. I mean, not that I didn't mess up too, but it's where the frustrating thing is. Like it's little things like that. You're getting in a hurry to get over there, but you don't want to click on that thing. Don't click on it till the tank gets here. Let tank go first. Even if the tank's like a half a second behind you, you'll have aggro. And the damage can be insane there. On top of... Alright, we got this. Ugh. I rolled too far. I'm struggling. Too much shit for me to worry about. I think I'm just getting, like, really tired. Well, this one's depleted too, so... If we could complete it. Might as well get, like, my 3% mana. Ah, we're only gonna barely not time it, too. That was so close. I keep not getting gear, but probably because we keep failing things. Well, got a 12 there. That wasn't timed. I think I'm gonna take a break. The grind is real and it's exhausting. And it's like, okay, so this weekend it's not like I'm gonna get 15s on all of the fortified dungeons. And look at how low some of the tyrannical ones are. Well, you know what? The tyrannical ones aren't bad. I got some 9s in there. And I'm sure that like several of them will be easy to get up to where these are. But that means like another extra week back and forth. You know what I mean? So it's a little disheartening because it's like, all right, if I can't get these to 15 this week before Tuesday, now I have to wait all next week and work on tyrannical. And then if I don't get all the tyrannical ones, then I gotta wait a whole nother week, you know. It's not like it matters. I've got plenty of time, I'm sure, but thus ends the live commentary. So let's look at some bingos real quick before we end the video for the day. For Painful Bingo, we definitely get the keys untimed, but at least it's for a funny reason. We're gonna give that one to me flying off the cliff. And not only is it untimed, I guess, we weren't even able to complete the run. Or rather, we chose not to complete the run, so I think that's fair to give us that. As far as Wholesome Bingo goes, I'm gonna actually give 3 great DPS in the same group to the Spires run that I did. I thought everybody there was pretty awesome. Very few complaints. In fact, just the first pull that we did was so smooth that it spoiled me for ever going back into that dungeon again with randoms. So I think that that's worthy of a little bingo cross off. That's it for this video. Until next time, take care of yourselves, everyone, and happy healing.